All right, so boom, real quick, I just wanted to do a quick top-down analysis for the week. Something I like to do every now and then, usually every other week, because the levels tend to remain the same. But for the sake of the video, we're just gonna remove all drawings. First thing we're gonna go over is the Nasdaq, aka what you guys call this on futures, YN. We're gonna go over YN, Nasdaq, NAS 100, whatever you want to call it. Let me delete all of my alerts, and we're gonna do a top-down analysis just so you guys can see what I'm looking at and how I am going to attack the week this week. So if we are looking at the EMA, we are still very the moving average, the 200 moving average, we are still very highly above the 200 moving average, meaning that overall the market is in a bullish structure on a higher time frames. But if we change this to a, let's just say 50 EMA, which is still a very valid EMA, it does move a little bit closer, and you can see it's starting to wiggle in between. But even on the 50 EMA, we are currently testing the EMA. The market just opened up at 5. Let me dismiss this message. I don't know why they keep trying to tell me about some Sims. I haven't played Sims in years, but whatever. But as you can see, we are tapping at 50 EMA. I like the 200 EMA because it's a very strong confluence. Like if the market drops below the 200 EMA, that means it's supposed to be like the market has officially shifted structure. Now that's on a higher time frame. We are currently looking at the daily. So if I were to mark off daily key levels, as you can see, price came back up here into this area right now and then rejected heavily. Our last key level, I would say we have a key level right, let's just say about right here. All right, on the daily, price found some support in this area. If you don't know what I'm talking about price found support right here, and it also found some resistance in this zone. So that is a very key area, a key area. And price is currently bouncing in between. And if you really wanted to get technical, you could also say that price is moving in between a channel right now, or a flag is currently forming market structure within a pattern. But we're not gonna get into all of that because it's not that serious. So if we go down to the 4-hour time frame, boom, we're gonna mark up some key levels that we notice here. First being off these highs right here, price came up, tapped it, found a lot of support right here. And what I like to do, guys, I like to keep it with the current structure. I don't really like to go too far back because you can drop a line anywhere, on a market, and eventually, the market is going to tap it. It's going to do something with it. So you want to use most recent price action. And remember that all of this is not an exact point. It is a zone, all right? The banks, the institutions, they are buying within this zone, okay? If I zoom in a little bit more, they are buying within the zone, everybody, not just that line. I'm not that precise. I don't know exactly where they're buying at. I just know that in this area, they found resistance here, resistance here, resistance here, resistance here, support here. We broke through, had a break and retest, push up to the highs. So those are things that I can notice happen recently within the last week. And then we broke below this support structure right here. Price was respecting this support in this area, right? Let me do something like this. Price was respecting the support right here, all in this, broke through, came right back up, and then we officially broke through. And what it looks like is going to happen, what I'm currently seeing now, knowing that the market is overall in a bullish structure, I'm still not against the idea of a huge pullback. But as you can see, we are still making higher highs, higher lows, but now we officially made a lower low. So what am I seeing for Nasdaq? I'm seeing a simple, as you can see, we broke through this key level. So we broke through, huge bullish move for the first leg. I'm assuming there's going to be some type of retest for a continuation push back down to this zone. And then once we get to this zone, there's no telling what can happen. Being that we are in November now, we're getting close to the holiday seasons. I'm not expecting huge moves to happen, but we also thought that in October, there wasn't going to be a lot of huge moves, but there were. So with that being said, I'm going to also go ahead and mark up this level right here. Something I want you guys to keep in mind is that a week is just candles on a smaller time frame. Like, always keep that in mind, guys. It's just candles on a smaller time frame and structure on a smaller time frame. That's how I see wicks. But yeah, so I would definitely like to see price. Let's just do something like that. Price pull back up and then drop back down. And then if we go down on a smaller time frame, I mean, it's clear as mud, guys. I don't really know what else to tell you. If price, let's just do our what if price comes back up, right? Let me put this lock on. All this capital is like I left the caps lock on. I'm sorry. If price, if price, let me make this thicker. Make that a little bit thicker so y'all can see. If price comes back up, respects this level, and then shows signs that it wants to continue this push down, we're going to sell it all the way down, all right? Now we're on the hour time frame just so you guys are keeping up. Now, if price does something like this, where it pushes above, comes back down, respects this, why is my lines not thick anymore? And does something like this, then we're going to buy it up. I don't know. Guys, all I do, draw lines, click buttons, make money. So that's what I'm expecting for Nasdaq. But I am overall, my bias, which I try not to have, my bias for the Nasdaq or YN is that we are going to see maybe something that's not what I wanted. We are going to see maybe something along these lines right here where we get a push, maybe some consolidation, and then a continuation down. That's what I'm expecting to happen, but you never know. All right, so moving on to the S&P 500, SPX, ES, whatever you want to call it, it's all the same. Like I said, we turn on that 200 EMA. We are highly above. So we are in a strong bullish market. I mean, the market has been going up all year since literally 2023, since 2022, the market has just been on a bull run. I don't know, all of these talks, guys, I think it's all like propaganda or whatever. All of these talks about the market like being bullish. Eventually, yeah, there's going to be a correction or there may be a bullish move down, but I don't see it happening. But that's neither here nor there. I'm not an analyst. I'm not a financial advisor. Don't listen to me. So yeah, we are mark off all-time highs right here. In October, we hit those all-time highs for the S&P 500, and we have been bouncing around in this area ever since. And then if I mark off this support level right here, the last place that market found a pullback, a correction prior to this move up, then we know that is support. You can kind of mark it off somewhere like in between here, because remember, guys, like always, this is a zone, not a specific point. It is a zone. Buyers, sellers are in this area somewhere with orders, executing, making billions of dollars, and we just trying to get a piece of the pie. But keep in mind that it is a zone, not just a specific point. I just like to use these thin lines because it makes my chart looks cleaner. Now, going down to the daily time frame, going down, that was the daily time frame. Going down to the 4-hour time frame, as you can see, we had quite a few structure points from last week and the week before. If I were to mark it off, I would mark some resistance up here that was once support, as you can see, making that look as clean as possible. You can see right here that this was support. Price just bounced off of this a few times, and then eventually it broke through and had a strong push to the downside because we couldn't break those all-time highs, which I assume because there was no huge big like news events going on, economic data, nothing of that nature. So I kind of figured that we were just going to consolidate for a while and break to the downside. And then if I were to mark up maybe the most recent structure point, I'll mark up something like this, because this is where price broke up. Let me move this back a little bit. As you can see, it was support. If I move it back even further, it was resistance. Then we had a break and retest. As you can see, resistance. It was resistance right here, resistance. And then we had a break, retest, and then a strong push to the upside. So now looking to the right, as you can see, price has broken through, came back to retest this area, broke through, came back for the retest, and just like NAS, aka YN, I'm looking for a continuation to the zone down here. Now, I don't know what's going to happen down here. The last time price got down here, there was a lot of consolidation, a lot of iffiness, but there is going to be a lot of news events happening this week. So I'm assuming there's going to be some big moves, but what do I know? I'm just a retail trader trying to get a piece of the pie. Now, if I were to mark off something a little bit more structurally, I will go down to the 1 hour and mark off this right here. because this was support prior to this huge move back to the upside. So I would try to see what price does in this area. Looking left, I can mark off a million things, but I would just keep it as is right now because this is most recent price action. Now we do know that price once upon a time bounced in between this zone. It ranged in between this zone until it broke and then went up, and then it did the same thing. Oops. Then it did the same thing, bounced in between this zone until it broke, came back down for the retest. And that's why, another reason why I'm assuming that there's going to be a strong push maybe to the downside prior to the holiday season. But I mean, that's really it. And if you guys want to know if I do take it down, so for on a 1 hour, so if I take it down to like the 15-minute time frame, guys, literally I would do something like I showed you guys. If you haven't seen, I showed you guys the 4 like strategies that I pretty much trade. What I would look for is maybe like, okay, I said I'm looking for a pushback up to the, to this level before a huge pushback to the downside. I would draw a trend line like this and then just wait for a break of the trend line, take a trade like this all the way back up to this zone, see what happens there, sell it back down, all the way back down to this, all the way back down to this zone. Like, guys, draw lines, click buttons, make money. Like, don't make this harder than it has to be. I would do something like that. Or if I seen price come back down to this area and give me a double bottom, aka a W, then I would go for the buy right here. I'll just wait and see what the market wants to do. If price does something like it did over here, if I circle this, if price does something like it did over there, then I'm definitely going to be looking to buy it back up. It's very simple, guys. Draw lines, click buttons, make money. It's very, very simple. So, and then, like I said, my ifs, if this happens, then if I see a break of this, I probably wouldn't look to sell because of this huge move to the downside. I'm expecting there to be a lot of consolidation prior to another move, but I probably wouldn't look to short or sell the market on the S&P on ES until I get a break of this level, and maybe go in on an early entry to try to catch the move early. I like to do that sometimes, just a break of the lows. But just to be more safe, I will also like to see a break and then a retest, come back up, a little consolidation. That's chef's kiss, and then a continuation to the downside. Either way, I will go in for a short on both scenarios. And then we just gonna play the market by ear. I don't really know what's gonna happen after that. No one does. So, it is what it is. And then to wrap things up, we are going to go to YM, aka US 30. Just let me clean up these charts real quick for y'all. All right, so looking at US 30, guys, just like both ES, YN, S&P, NAS 100, we are in a bullish market. And if you know anything about US 30, man, to have a relationship with US 30 is toxic, man. It's toxic. But US 30 pay the bills, man. US 30 pay the bills, but if you know, you know. If you know, you know. But marking off these all-time highs right here on US 30 and where we are currently sitting at a structure point, aka support. So I don't exactly know what to expect in this area, but this is why we're going to be sitting on our hands. And then, we also see something like right here. I don't want to mark up too much. Let's just mark it up right here, which would be the level I'm looking to trade to next if we continue with this down move. Now, going to the 4-hour time frame, some structural points that I see off rip. I can see it's been pretty choppy with US 30, but I can see something. This is nasty. US 30 is nasty sometimes, bro. It's been nasty. It's been mad choppy, bro. If you trade US 30, then US 30 has been disgustingly choppy, and then out of nowhere to give you like a huge push to like the downside. I'm pretty sure we're not gonna find more structural marks on the 4-hour time frame, but just same thing, guys. It's literally these markets move the same. The S&P, the Nasdaq, US 30 for the most part, they all move in similar motions. Same thing, guys. I'm not looking for anything really different. Price came down to this area right here, this level of support, and then bounced off. And so what am I looking for? Same thing, guys. Literally the same thing. Price comes back down, wants to show me signs that it wants to continue back up into this area, then what do? We buy it up. Simple. Simple, simple, simple. We buy it up. Just like that. Like I don't really know what else. Draw lines, click buttons, make money. That's my new motto, guys. Like that's legit my new motto. Let's take it down to a lower time frame. Let's take it down to the 1 hour and see if we can find maybe some more structural points. So right here we have this resistance right here, and then even if I pull it back, we can see that it was once support. It was support over in this area. Kind of had something going on there, and then it broke through, came back up for the retest. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but we're kind of seeing similar patterns here, and I'm looking for that second extension down to the downside. That's literally it. That's literally it. So if I were to go down to like the 15-minute time frame, what would I be looking for? Let's clean this up a little bit actually, because I trade the 15. I trade the 15 and the 5-minute time frame mostly. So this is like, these are the time frames I scale down to define those entries once we are at those major key levels. So honestly, I mean, I could kind of see myself taking, if I'm being honest, I could see myself shorting the market. Like, let's just say the market does absolutely nothing, which I'm sure it would do something. Let's just say the market wiggles around until 8:30 p.m. 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time for me tomorrow, Monday. Today's Sunday. Let's just say it does that, right? Let's just say it does a little tango until then, and then price around that time starts to make its way down and pushes down here. I'm probably gonna take the break of the low, no cap. I'm gonna take the break of the low right now, okay? And then I'm gonna take it back down to this level and see what happens. As you can see, guys, this held as support once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. You know, so it will be smart. It will behoove you. I hate that word so much. They say that so much in the military. It will behoove you. Like I got PTSD, bro. I'm traumatized with that word. But if you do take any shorts to the downside, I would definitely only take shorts to this level right here. I would not try to hold for anything further down because this is such strong support. Now, why would I look for a continuation of a sell off? Same as always, guys. Draw lines, click buttons, make money. If price were to wiggle down and then break through, come back up, and then show me some consolidation, maybe, hopefully, and then some signs that it wants to push back down, I would simply wait for it to break this low in this area. Let me make sure y'all can see. I would simply wait for it to break the low right here. Like, if you don't know what I'm talking about, this low right here, break of the lows, take the sell all the way down, try to find me a good stop loss, and take that drone down to the next key level. That's it. That's it. I don't know how else to explain this to you all. A lot of people say trading sounds confusing. They say like, oh, I don't know, man. I don't know. Dude, draw lines, click buttons, make money. That's it. Draw lines, click buttons, make money. Look, all I did was draw lines, guys. All I did was draw lines. And then I said, if this happens, then I'll do this. If price comes up here and it shows me signs that it wants to respect this resistance, then I'll sell it back down. If price were to come up here and break above and then come back down and shows me that it's respecting and now it's support, then I will buy it up. I don't know how else. If price breaks down below this and, you know, shows me that it wants to continue down, I'm going to sell it. If price breaks below this level right here, comes back up, gives me a little consolidation, hopefully, or a retest, something, and shows me signs that it wants to continue downwards, then I'm going to sell it down. That is it. That is all. And that is my Sunday market analysis on YN, ES, and YM. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Leave a thumbs up if you have not done so yet, and subscribe and turn on that notification bell. I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.